Welcome back to Sort of Sophisticated, the podcast where we take a little history, a little culture, and a bunch of other stuff, shove it all in a blender, press puree, and hope some good shit comes out of it. I'm Amanda, and as always, I am here with Pete.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
So good, so good.
Right? So good. So good. Jimmy Buffett, I love it. That was a good start.
Oh, there
You didn't even know it. That was a good start.
Mm.
Thanks for coming back every week, Amanda. I really appreciate it. And you know, I really wanted to say thank you for the audience that decides to come back every week, if they do.
They do.
Because we never
There
really
are some.
know.
There are some.
Right?
And they're our favorite people in the world.
They are, right?
Mm.
I know some of them because they're my besties.
Yes.
And I know they just support me.
And they text you, and it makes you
I
feel
don't
all
know
warm and fuzzy inside. It's great.
Do you have any besties that text you, or do they all just say, your show sucks?
No.
Your show sucks.
No.
I have a story to tell you.
Yes.
Ruth is graduating
Yes.
this upcoming Saturday. She just got a mass amount of scholarship at her like senior awards night.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
Good story, bad story. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
I'm gonna go fast, but this is embarrassing AF. Like, this is as bad as it comes. So like we get the email and it says like show up for awards. So
Okay.
So we had a sense that she won some scholarship because we did apply to one scholarship.
Just to one.
Just to one.
Okay.
And we knew sort of the other awards like weren't for her, like Christian Service Hours or 4.0 or whatever, like the other. We were like, okay, she wasn't on ASB. So we're like, I think you won the scholarship. Okay, cool. So we get there, we sit down. I've done the awards night. This is my fourth awards night, obviously, you know, since I've had four
Fourth
kids.
kid.
Right.
Yeah.
So Gabby and I used to sort of slink out after our kid wins the award because it's a 3-hour night. You're outside. It's cold as
You guys are
balls.
awful.
It's terrible. Right. So we sit down, literally we get there. We're like the last people to get there. We sit down. There's 300 people there. We're all outside in the grotto. It's beautiful. Like, sun's out. It's gorgeous. And they start with the scholarships.
Okay.
And they call up Ruth, like right away. Boom. Right. And like,
And you were like, yes,
yeah,
I get out of here early.
But like, yes,
Okay.
and super excited about scholarship. Then they call up like 10 other people. And I'm like, okay, like,
All for
really?
scholarship.
Same scholarship.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, kind of watered it down a little bit. Congratulations to everybody who won. I think it was wonderful, but you know, I was like,
Sure.
meh. So we get up, we go stand in the back, and I'm like getting ready to like Irish goodbye this whole thing, right? Because I'm like, we're 5 minutes into this thing, and she's
Done.
like, done.
Yeah.
So then another woman gets up for another scholarship that we didn't apply for, mind you, and she starts talking, and I'm just waiting carefully, and she says, Ruth Belinsky, please come up. And Ruth looked at me. I'm like, I don't know. You can go up. So now Ruth goes up, and now it's sort of exciting because that was like a single scholarship, right?
Yeah.
So like she gets her scholarship, she walks off stage. I'm like, we got to stick around for another minute or two. Okay. Next person gets up. Da-da-da-da. Ruth Belinsky.
What?
Third scholarship. Yes. I don't know. They must have like passed around like Ruth's essay to like a bunch of different. Yes. So now I'm sort of like, oh my God.
Whoever the career
Right.
person is at
Thank
her
you,
school.
gods of thank
needs
you,
to,
gods
like-
of modern day high school. Right. So this is all the good part, right? I'm getting to the bad part. So now we're 3 deep, and some man gets up and starts talking about an athletic scholarship for football, and some athlete gets up, a football guy wins a scholarship. Then some wrestling guy gets up, and some wrestling guy wins a scholarship. I'm like, we're safe. So we slink out. Okay, she's wearing high heels. It takes us like 8 minutes to get to the car. We are 3/4 of the way to the car. She's like clogging in her high heels, like really slow, right? All of a sudden she gets this text. Oh my God, Ruth, you just won another award. Like, her phone blows up. So she's like, what do we do, Dad? I'm like, we turn around.
Yeah.
So we turn around, and it takes us, Amanda, 5-7 minutes to walk back in. Like, it was embarrassing.
It's far.
And you have to understand, like, we're like, this is outside. So like they can see us from like a mile
So
away.
they all knew you played hooky.
As soon as they see us around the corner, the lady at the mic goes, and there's Ruth Belinsky. Ruth was, oh my God, lost
Mortified.
all aura. Like, oh my God, she was it was so bad. So she starts running. And then the lady subsequently says, oh, Ruth, don't worry. We'll wait for you. You don't have to run, hun.
Oh my God.
300 faces turn around and stare at Ruth do this, like, I don't know, 5-minute walk up to the stage. The man comes back up on the stage to give her a fourth scholarship, which was super kind, right? I'm like apologizing to everybody. I'm in the background. I'm like, I'm sorry, I had a work meeting I had to be at. Like, it starts at 7. Like, I got to go. I didn't mean to pull her out. Oh my God. Can someone check if we have more awards?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Guy runs off, comes back. He goes, I don't think you have any more awards. At that exact time, the woman who gave us the first award walks up to Ruth. Now we're in the back again. We're done.
Yeah.
And she says, hey, one of my colleagues who runs another foundation heard your story. I shared your letter or shared your essay. He is also giving you an award. He's going to be texting you this evening. I gave him your information.
Oh my gosh.
5 awards. She ended up meeting that man separately. We met that man to 5 scholarships.
That's amazing.
Right. But super, super embarrassing that we were like.
So what did you learn, Peter?
I learned that Gabby was very
hooky.
mad at me for walking away. I shouldn't have.
I mean,
So,
she probably would have done it with you, for being honest.
I feel terrible. I know that was a really long story, but that was like, oh my God, it was so. There was a
That's
pit.
so exciting.
No, it was exciting, but
though.
it's pit in my stomach.
Now I want to read her essay.
Oh my God, it was a good essay.
Yeah.
You can read the essay. I'll let
Okay,
you read the
okay.
essay. Okay. Well, I was like, doing all that and winning a bunch of money. Not me, Ruth. What were you doing? Were you doing anything fun? It was a fun weekend.
I mean, yours was very exciting. I mean, I don't know if mine was as exciting. The girls had a soccer party. You remember the good old days for the soccer party?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Pizza and sweat and smelly socks. This is the best
It
ever.
was a pool party with the bounce house. And Trent, you know how you guys used to do your awards? So instead of doing just the candy award,
right.
he did a walk-up song for all the girls.
Oh my God, yes.
And it was very elaborate.
Okay.
And it was like most likely to blah, blah, blah.
I like the walk-up song.
And then it had a walk-up song.
Yes.
And he explained, this is the song that you embodied the whole season.
Wow.
And it was great explaining it to like 9, 10-year-old girls who were like,
well, you guys are so creative. I can't believe 9 and 10. I can't believe they're that old. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's older
great,
than like we were when we were coaching like Paul and Ruth.
Yeah, well, Ruth had just started, right?
Yeah, Ruth was like
7?
6. Yeah, Ruth was like a baby.
Like
And actually, Ruth played up. Like we started
Oh.
a year early. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
weird. Yeah. Yeah, she was so little. Oh my God.
Yep.
Holy
Quickly
crap.
learned she didn't like soccer, but
Okay, are we done with the niceties? Can I like do episode topic?
Absolutely. You do what
intro?
you want
Can we
anyway,
go?
so
All right,
go for it.
The official title of today's episode, Amanda.
Dun dun dun.
We're gonna need a bigger podcast. Jaws turns 50. Wait, have you even seen Jaws?
Well played.
Have you even seen it?
I have seen
You have
Jaws.
seen Jaws.
I actually watched it in a pool.
Oh, I wouldn't have done that.
It was
ever.
it was at night, and it was a
Oh.
summer night, and
Oh.
we had the blow up screen.
What a creative idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
and it
so
was mildly terrifying because they also turned off the lights in the pool.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, it was.
You're
it
a
was
badass. Look
mildly
at you.
terrifying.
That is. I like that idea. Do you even get the whole "we're gonna need a bigger podcast"? Do you get my title?
Yeah, it was.
You get my
It
reference.
was in the movie.
You
right?
do?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's like the most.
And I think they also say it on the Universal Studio Tour.
Oh, they do.
I think so.
Oh,
They
then everybody
reference
knows it. Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay. Oh, here I thought I was being all cool. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was a good punny.
Yeah, it was a punny.
Okay, but let's be real here.
Okay, what?
Our listeners.
Wait, are we not real? What's happening?
Well, sometimes people may be wondering why we picked topics, right? So, like in this case,
Oh, that's a good point.
maybe our listeners are wondering, why do we pick Jaws as a topic in the first place?
Yeah, that's true.
And how is this supposed to make us more cultured, Peter?
Hmm.
Because, I mean, it's just a movie.
It is just a movie.
And they were making movies way before Jaws, silent films.
All the way back to Hollywood, 1920.
Forever, yeah.
I'm going to go with you are correct.
And this was in 1975.
Yes.
So then, Peter.
Yes. What is the question exactly?
Why does learning about Jaws make us more cultured and curious?
There it is, people. Ba-da-ba. Good point. Because Jaws is not a regular movie, Amanda.
It isn't.
No.
And I know this.
Because you were scared to death watching it in a pool.
I was not, though. Though we did terrify the children.
Donna.
The children were like, we can't have to go sit on the edge.
Okay.
We also had like a little boat. It was great.
Yes.
A blow up boat on the pool. It was
Scary
great. It was
AF. I
great.
would not have done that.
Would've
Yeah.
been
Okay.
great.
Like you know what? If you think about it, like here's why. Let's cut the crap, right? Because it was not the first scary movie. Because like Psycho was out way before that.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock was out
Donna.
before that. Right. Totally.
I guess that one was
But-
more like a
Oh my God.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's what my bed sounded like for many years. Okay.
Dear.
My bad, yo. So this was the first movie that actually scared us, like without supernatural stuff or like things that weren't like a spooky mansion or like in the case of Psycho, like a murderer that like was like people didn't believe that shit. Like it wouldn't happen to them. Jaws was the first movie that like scared the shit out of everyone because it was like regular.
I feel like it's because for everybody, there's probably that mild fear already living in them.
Right.
Right? Like
Oh, absolutely.
someone breaking into my house and
No,
like
this is-
stabbing me.
This is
Yeah,
primal
plausible,
shit.
but
Right.
I'm not scared about
No,
it, right?
primal shit.
But like,
yes.
we are not the apex predator.
You are absolutely
in the ocean.
You are absolutely right. Right. It scared the living shit out of people for like 10 years afterwards. Like people that
Oh, I
would go
bet.
swimming in the ocean.
I bet.
I actually have a fun fact about that at the end, so I don't want to like
Okay,
spoil
we
it.
aren't gonna spoil
But
it.
yeah, no. Okay.
But Peter,
What?
hold on. I love your meme and all that, but technically you haven't even answered the question yet. Like, are we gonna get cultured and curious?
You totally are. Chill out.
Okay,
We get cultured and curious on every
I
episode.
know. I'm just messing with
We
you.
do. No bullshit, dude. Okay.
Just
Listen to this.
messing.
Okay. Jaws, whether you know it or not, paved the way for the modern movie industry. Okay. Completely changed how films were made. Don't look at me like that. How they were marketed, like everything. Okay. up until this point, Amanda, there was no such thing as a summer blockbuster movie. Didn't exist. So they would just like, people would leak out their like dumb summer movie. Like the summer was throwaway. It was like for nothing. But then when
Really?
Jaws, yes.
I feel like all the good movies come out in summer. So you're telling me this was the epitome of what started the trend.
Okay, well now you're going to get cultured.
Okay,
You just proved my point. Thank you
go.
very much. Also, it gave us the rise of Steven Spielberg.
Well, didn't he make something before Jaws?
Yeah, he did. He made one, but not like a no-name thing.
Okay.
No.
This put him on the map.
Or it was going to take him off the map. We're going to talk about that later too.
Okay,
It was,
okay.
Yes,
Here we
because
go.
it almost didn't happen. Also, it's based on a book.
It's like a twofer because you're learning about Jaws and now we
learn about Steven Spielberg. Yes,
Okay.
and then Peter Benchley, who wrote the book in 1974, former journalist and speechwriter for President Lyndon B. Johnson. Thank you very
Now,
much.
if I told you I didn't know that Jaws was a book, are you going to judge me?
I am a little bit, because like he said, like
Didn't
think about
know.
this: speech writing, Lyndon B. Johnson. Yeah,
Fair,
like
fair.
right, civil rights stuff, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, what if I write a story about a giant shark and like freak everybody out?
I mean,
I kind of like Peter Benchley.
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
One, didn't know that this was a real thing.
Yeah.
That somebody in 1974, right, wrote
Yeah.
this book, and then
Yeah.
a year later they just make a movie out of it, which though
Right.
I am all for.
Mhm.
I am a proponent of like making adaptations, right, from books into movies, but
Yeah.
now I feel like I've ruined my rule. Like
Why?
this is one movie that
The-
like I always read the book before I watch a movie.
'Kay.
That the adaptation's that. And
Wow,
now you
I think
just
I
like
also have another fun fact.
bursted my bubble.
Totally different movie, book, different in this case.
Different.
Different.
So didn't ruin my rule. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay, I'll
different.
wait till the end.
Okay, actually, fun fact.
Wait, hold on.
What?
We have to do word of the day first.
I want to. Oh, okay, fine.
And then you can go to fun
Okay,
facts.
got it.
And then you
Okay.
can go to history.
Okay.
And then you can go into
All the
whatever
cool
else
stuff.
you do.
Characters, Steven Spielberg, we got it all.
Okay.
It's going to be huge today. Okay, are we ready for word of the day?
Ready.
Okay, all I know is we're not doing lurkable. Okay, lurkable was
Wouldn't
terrible.
it work right now?
Would
The
it?
shark was lurkable.
Lurking is easy. Lurkable was terrible. Okay, anyway. Okay, here's the
Probably
one.
didn't use that in the right context anyway.
We blew it, totally. This is the one we were supposed to do last week before I hijacked it.
Okay.
Okay? Sartorial.
Sartorial?
Sartorial.
Huh.
Nothing?
What does SAR mean? Sartorial. Like tutorial, but with a SAR? What would SAR be?
SAR, meaning you're crazy. That's what that means. there.
SAR means crazy?
No, it means you just try to rhyme words. And when, like that does not necessarily mean.
They totally break down. Okay, what does sartorial mean? And we're going to figure out how it goes back to sartorial.
Sartorial and tutorial have nothing to do with each other.
What
Sartorial
does it mean?
means something that relates to clothing, fashion, or style of dress, usually used when someone is dressed like a little too nice for the occasion. So like not you.
Fair.
Ever.
No. I like
Even
to be
when I ask
comfortable.
you-
It's fine.
Even when I ask you to dress up. Yeah, right.
Don't give a shit.
So let's start with, I will just put the dollar in the jar right now. You are the opposite of sartorial.
Okay.
Yay!
Hey, screw you. All right, I guess we're going to see how this goes.
Okay,
so now you can go ahead and give us our fun fact. Even
Oh,
though
yeah,
I
my
think you
fun
gave
fact.
everybody a fun fact
Fun
that I don't like
fact,
to dress up, but that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so my fun fact was that these two producers, David Brown
Okay.
and Richard Zanuck. Zanuck? I don't know if I'm
Okay.
saying that right. You might have to look that up. So they had already bought the movie rights, Amanda, before this dude, Pete, even released the book publicly.
So,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I guess they had this
So
thing
he
called...
sold the rights for his book.
Already. Like, that's how these guys were the producers were this like in tune with how awesome this was going to be. Yeah. They had what was called a galley proof.
Okay.
So it lands on this guy Dave's desk right before it's going to release nationwide. And him and his buddy Dick, or Richard, whatever, right? They go one day, they're like, yeah, this is awesome. A shark that eats people. Like, we love this. We're buying the rights right now. $175,000 before the book comes out. Do math. Can you ChatGPT like what $175,000 was back then in today's money, or what? You know what I'm asking.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want another fun fact while you're looking this up?
Sure do.
Okay. You want to know the word for people who are afraid of sharks?
Oh, it's a phobia, huh?
Are you ready? It's
Okay.
a phobia.
Yep.
Galeophobia.
Galeo.
Galeophobia.
Is a shark-
Galeophobia. Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Is a shark a galeo?
I don't know. I feel like it should be something like, oops, I just shit my pants of phobia or something. I don't think it should be galeophobia. Okay? What do you think? How about iseaphinophobia? That sounds
There you
better.
go. That sounds better. I
Right?
like that one. We
Yeah.
should go with
I
that
don't
one.
know.
for
Okay,
sure.
wait. Did you look up how
I
much
did.
money? What?
So today,
Yes.
$175,000 would be
Uh-huh.
$1,038,086.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. We're already in stupid land. It's over $1 million. Do you get my point? That's a lot of money for this book rights when you think about it all the way back then with no plans. Go
mean,
David and Richard.
They saw something in it.
I know.
And clearly, because I'm sure Jaws raked in a shit ton of money, which you're going to get into.
We are.
Okay, so where do we go from here then? I'm not sure how you're going to want to start this one. You said it was like the first summer blockbuster ever.
Yes.
So we're going to start with that?
I did. I think that's a good idea.
History?
No, we're going to do... Wait, who wants the history? We're doing summer blockbuster. Let's go. Because I learned a lot of crap when I was doing my research.
All right, go.
Okay. So I guess before Jaws, movies just kind of like came out, right? Like world would go see them. No marketing, no intentionality. Like they finished making them, they edited them, they got released. And people would just go to a movie theater. Like
that was the thing to do.
No plan. Right. Okay. But Jaws was the first film to do two very specific things. First, they spent a shitload of money on marketing. Okay. Up to that point, movies weren't being marketed. Okay. I know that sounds weird, but they weren't. Universal spent...
they were to an extent because they had movie posters.
Universal spent massive amounts of money on these super short, suspenseful TV ads that ran across the country, like weeks leading up to the release. They did not do that before Jaws. Okay. No. Okay. So you wouldn't remember because technically I don't either because I was like 2 years old. But the trailer, I looked it up, a super scary trailer, right? It was the music, right? And it was that super scary Twilight Zone-y voice like Rod Sterling, you know?
I don't know. You should give me an example.
Yeah, so it goes like, there's a creature that has survived millions of years of evolution without change. And like, it's like going under the water.
Yes,
right. It's like, donna. Right. Okay. And then they put all that scary music, right? They show people swimming in the water, total goosebumps. It was less like, come see this movie. Right. No. This was like, hey, get ready to shit your pants, people, if you go see the movie. Like, it was scary shit. Oh, by the way, it was rated PG. It wasn't even rated R. Which, when you think...
Which also, like, that tracks because we totally let our kids watch it.
First of all...
And then watching, we're like, ooh.
Let's cut the crap. There's tits at the beginning. I mean, you can't really see them, like, really well. I mean, I have an excellent pause game, don't get me wrong, but, like they're smoking marijuana on the beach, right? And then she rips off her clothes and she runs in the ocean. Like, it's quick, but that's there, right? So then she gets eaten. Spoiler alert. And then, like, how much blood and guts is there? Like it shows a lot of, like, dead body parts. I'm surprised it's not rated R.
I mean, fair, but the body parts were also not that believable.
Okay, but back then they were.
Okay,
like, yes, okay. All right. Also, they were the first to drop merch. Like real merch, like
so
everywhere.
Is that number 2?
Yes. No, not number 2. This is all part of marketing.
Oh, that's still marketing.
This is still marketing. Okay, I'm going to tell you the number 2.
Okay.
Well, after I do number 2. Okay. So they did everything. Amanda, T-shirts, the posters, okay, beach towels, cool metal lunchboxes. Did you grow up with metal lunchboxes?
Yeah,
I had metal lunch. I had the Jaws metal lunchbox with all the lead in it and everything. I don't know why I was eating my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
This explains a lot about your brain.
Yeah. And the poster was unbelievable. Giant shark underwater,
with
like
the people on top.
Super, not people on top. Super hot lady on top swimming. Right? Yes. Very.
Sure.
Okay. You get so offended.
Person.
Okay. Perfect advertising. Okay. Basically, it was don't go swimming. You have no idea what could be under you because the ocean is really dark and scary, or in your case, a pool.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
With a floaty.
Sure.
Total nightmare. And everybody poops. Okay. Second thing, totally new and innovative, mind you. Okay, the whole idea, you're not going to believe me, wide release strategy, where it basically opened up in hundreds of theaters simultaneously.
Do they
nationwide.
only open up one by one?
Here
before?
we go. Yes, that's exactly right.
No.
Yes.
That sounds like such a bad idea.
Amanda, I
Who
did
came
this.
up with that?
So they used to open either in like big markets like New York, LA, and that was it. So like 20 theaters, 30 theaters, 50 theaters, whatever it was, right? To see if they'd get traction. Or they would do a roadshow, exactly like what you just said. Take it across the country with limited theaters, limited seating, see who liked it, literally city by city. This was the first movie ever. 464 screens nationwide at the exact same time.
That's a lot.
Done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going from like a handful to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are you kidding? Like, unless you're my brother Dave, who loves sharks, the other 99.9% of us absolutely are terrified. So it was basically like, all of these massive crowds of people were being drawn into the theaters because they wanted to be freaked out. And like I said earlier, do you remember when I was talking about the whole idea of summer throwaways? That's totally true. Look all that crap up. It was the throwaway season for movies. Super counterintuitive, but they released it on purpose to try to take advantage of all the other, like they were going against all these other piece of shit movies that were being thrown in the theaters at the time. Yes.
They're becoming the Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm tracking here. Early television advertising, a bunch of merch, and a very intentional release strategy is kind of the blueprint that made Jaws the summer blockbuster and reshaped how the industry did it to what we know today.
50 years later.
Wow.
This is the whole point of why we're doing this, because otherwise why would we just pick any movie? We didn't pick any movie. We picked the movie that made a summer blockbuster season. And fun fact, because of all that, Jaws, Amanda, was the first movie to hit $100 million at the box office.
I mean, that's a lot of money for 1975.
Opening weekend. It was stupid. Amanda, stupid money. Yes.
Who had the record before?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm starting to know like how you asked me my questions. I looked it up. So in 1973, The Exorcist came in number 2, just 2 years earlier, 89 million.
The Exorcist came out in 1972?
1973. Uh-huh. And then before that, it was The Sound of Music in 1965, 79 mil. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, like TV ads, beach
How much
towels.
do shows open up today?
Oh, it could be hundreds and hundreds of millions.
But
Yeah. And then some totally flop. Like Marvel today. Oh my God. Oh, by the way, Marvel should thank Jaws. Period. Point paragraph. We're done. They should thank Jaws for everything that they make and do because of what they did. That's what I'm talking about, right?
But do they come at 683 million?
That sounds high for opening weekend.
Yeah. Because in theory, 100 million in 1975 to today's dollars is 683
I don't know.
million.
Do this. Chat GPT this, right? Look up last movie that netted 500 million opening weekend. See what comes up.
Oppenheimer calling it. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
No, Deadpool.
What did it gross?
The most recent movie to net 500 million at the global box office during its opening weekend.
There you go.
Deadpool
Done and done. Okay, so they're doing it.
Previously was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah. Is Deadpool Marvel? Thank you very much.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you being so smart.
Right. I know. It's crazy. So TV ads, beach towels, wide release strategy basically changed Hollywood forever. Jaws was rewriting rules, Amanda, before it was in the theaters.
I mean, I kind of want to know who the brainiac was behind all of that. Who came up with this perfect sauce without realizing it was the perfect sauce?
Well, we talked about it. You know who it is.
Who?
The genius, Mr. Steven Spielberg.
He came up with this?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was his strategy that he decided? Wow.
Yes, total rookie, fresh out of film school. Who's crazy?
And maybe this is why we should listen to young people.
Okay, I got to talk. I got to talk about Mr. Spielberg. Can I talk about Spielberg now?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Because I don't know young Spielberg,
No.
so go for it.
Well, nobody knew young Spielberg, right? He was a nobody. It could have been Joe Schmo, right? Nobody cared. He wasn't even famous. Total no name. Fun fact. I'm like 10 fun facts into this thing.
You better have some at the end.
I do. I have a lot. It was so easy. Okay. He wasn't even Universal's first pick for this or second pick. He was their third pick. Okay, so check this out. So the first guy's name is Dick Richard. There's a lot of Dicks in this one, right? The producer guy, Dick.
But his name is
Dick Richard.
Dick.
Dick.
Sorry.
Oh my God, I love Dick Dicks. Okay, so he was the original director they wanted because he was famous already, right? So he signed up to do it and everything, but he couldn't stop calling it a whale. He kept saying the whale. He was referring to it
the shark was the whale?
Yes. And so he might have done it on purpose. I don't really get it. I tried to look up why that was all happening, but in all the pitch meetings, he kept saying whale. So the producers were like, if you keep saying whale in our pitch meetings, you don't even fucking care about this movie. So they totally fired him, right?
Wow.
Okay, so that first guy's gone. So next guy comes along, John Sturges, already famous for directing a bunch of other shit too. But he read the book and he said it kind of sucked. And he didn't want to do a film on the ocean or anything because he was too cool for that. Because he was like, oh my God, I'm going to get seasick.
So he stepped out.
So he's like, I'm not even taking it. So he passes. So
Bet you he's kicking himself in the butt.
Absolutely is. Well, maybe he wouldn't have done it the same way.
Oh, that's true.
So then comes our boy Spielberg, who was 26 years old, Amanda, 26. Dang. Energetic, young, big nose guy, right? The total no name. But he loved the idea of making a movie that could scare the shit out of everyone. So they kind of just handed him the script and said, hey,
good luck.
Don't screw this up. Right. That's exactly right.
All right. And the rest is history.
Well, sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
Well, remember I told you, he almost didn't make it? Yeah, he almost got fired. Multiple times.
Why?
Yeah, okay. Because it was
I
bad.
mean, I could maybe envision why, because he was 26.
No, it was a complete mess. The whole filming was a mess. First of all, they're in the ocean. Totally unpredictable. A lot of
They
it...
didn't have a big tank? They did the ocean.
We're in 1975. They're in the ocean. Okay, the Atlantic. Shit was moving around all the time. They were drifting everywhere. They could not stay in one place. It was an absolute mess. The shark, obviously, was super mechanical, right? Now they're trying to put mechanical crap in the water. It broke all the time, over and over again. Total shit show. Another fun fact. Are you ready for this? They started calling it Flaws instead of Jaws.
Oh, womp womp.
Yeah, because the filming was so messed up. So they almost fired him. It went way over budget. It was months and months behind schedule. And you could totally argue that ended up working in his favor. Because think about it. Well, he was also a genius. Because the shark kept breaking, he had to start shooting the movie and redoing scenes around the shark. He couldn't use the shark because the shark wasn't working, right?
Yeah.
So all the POV, the music, all that shit that built up to it made it way scarier and way more suspenseful. Let's be honest. We're way more afraid of things we can't even see. right?
Well, I mean, it's true. But when we were watching it in the pool,
Yeah.
I remember going, "Where's the shark?"
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get the anticipation, but where's the shark?
Okay, so you were making fun of like things didn't look real back then, like the legs and the arms that fell off and all that. So here's the deal. I watched this last weekend to get ready for this episode. They don't really show the real big shark till there's about 12 minutes left in the movie. Now, don't get me wrong. You see the shark underwater. You see it like at different angles, but there's water around it, so you can't really see how fake it looks. And I would argue, I watched it with Ruth. She was watching it. So was Luke. I would argue the reason it still like resonates today is because you don't see the fake animatronics. Everything about the movie,
it's a psychological thriller.
It still
really
looks
what it is.
He changed it from horror to suspense. Absolutely, that's what he did. Yes, and I think that was the genius behind. And I don't know that the other directors would have done it. I don't.
He had a different vision.
Yeah. After that, dude launched his film career. You know what he did next? Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Indiana Jones, E.T.,
and then like all the Jurassic Parks, Saving Private Ryan,
shout out,
which is also about D-Day.
Like let's
Look,
go.
I'm learning. Look
right.
at that. Okay, but I'm going to change subjects.
Go. I love when you change subjects.
Well, I kind of just want to talk about the characters.
Yes. Keep me moving along.
Well, right before we went live, you were telling me about like what each character represented, and I thought that was fascinating because I had no idea Jaws was actually that deep. Clearly, and I also want to know if it's like that deep because of the book. So if we can go through that one more time on the air, that would be great.
Oh my God,
I think it's worth talking about.
Okay, totally. We're going through it. Yes. Like I was telling you earlier. 3 main characters. 1 important supporting character. We're going to go through 4 characters. There's a lot of supporting characters, but there's one main one. Okay, so first you have the chief of police, Martin Brody, my favorite character, played by Roy Scheider. Rip. He's the guy that represents like us, like every man, Amanda, like just trying to be awesome and do his best under the circumstances. He's not a scientist. He ain't a war hero. He's just a small town police chief who, fun twist, is actually afraid of the water. That's hysterical. I think that's like Steven Spielberg's funny part. Okay, so he's the guy who's supposed to represent reason and responsibility. He's our classic reluctant hero, like in every book, because he rises to the occasion when he has to, right? The underdog that we all love.
So for all intents and purposes, the protagonist of the story?
Totally.
Great.
The protagonist, yes. Okay. Then next you have the young marine biologist, Matt Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, a very young Richard Dreyfuss. Super smart, from the city, works for the Science or Marine Institute or whatever the hell he calls it. And he represents logic and knowledge, like all the smart stuff, science, all that kind of crap. The idea that science has an answer for everything when really sometimes it doesn't, because nature can be like super unpredictable and we haven't figured everything out yet. Then you have the last of the main characters, Quint. I don't think he has a last name. He's played by Robert Shaw. Yeah, he's like Cher or Madonna, like our Prince or whatever, right? His name's Quint. I don't know. Maybe he has a last name. I don't know. Rip also to Robert Shaw. It's badass.
All of them.
Huh?
I said all of them have kind of passed.
Well, no. Richard Dreyfuss still around. Yeah, so Quint's the badass shark hunter guy who's hired to like kill the shark. He's supposed to represent instinct and experience. He was a chiseled World War II survivor, and he's seen everything. So he's like the most prepared for what they have to do. Like, he can't deal with people around him anymore because he probably has PTSD and he's a little nuts and like takes his instincts way too far. But he's what makes everybody feel safe. Well, he's the guy. Let's follow that guy because he knows what he's doing.
But then he gets like eaten.
Yeah, spoiler. He totally does. Yes.
So
that's it. And by the way, the book different than the movie.
Well, I was just going to ask. I was like, are these characters the same in the book, or are they all different?
They're same in the book, but their story arcs are different.
Okay.
So like, and I don't want to go all in the book in this whole episode because we'll be here like all day long. But different story arcs, and it's worth reading the book because there's some other shit that goes on.
Oh, like, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it sounds all of these characters, they work together, right, to figure out how to beat the shark.
Yeah.
Like, it's heart, it's logic, it's experience. It's like Wizard of Ozzy, right? With
it kind of is.
Man and
yes, exactly. Yes, let's go.
It's just like the team that has all the aspects that they need.
Do you know how you like make fun of like how my brain works? Like that was unbelievable how your brain worked. I would have never put that together.
But you probably would. I think so.
It would have taken me another minute.
Okay, fair.
But like, listen, in the end, Amanda, it takes all of them to kill the shark.
Well, because they all have to come together with their superpowers.
They do. I mean, Brody's actually the one who does it, but like each character is necessary at some point.
Okay, but then who's the last guy? Like the important supporting actor you had said.
So the last guy's the mayor of Amity. Mayor Larry Vaughn, to like all the Jaws nerds that know his actual name.
Sure didn't.
Right. The guy with the kick-ass iconic blazers. You know what? He's kind of sartorial, if I may say so.
Nah.
That's what he is. Because he wears the dumb yeah. Okay, well he is.
Wow.
Okay, so he's played by the actor
Well
Murray
played.
Hamilton. I know, thank you. I just pulled that out of my butt. He's actually the antagonist of the story, believe it or not Jaws. They made him a pretty good villain. So on the one hand, you have the shark who's like the villain. I get it. And he's like scary and everything because he eats people, because that's what sharks do. But then the other hand, you have Mayor Larry, who represents sort of like the idea of sticking our proverbial heads in the sand. Like when serious shit's going down, we're nowhere to be found because we're giving up, because we're just scared to do anything. He represents greed and our ego and all the things we try to hide from the world, but really can't when you think about it. Like, he's a mess.
So he's a person that we don't want to epitomize in our lives.
No, he represents big government. That's what he represents.
All right.
Right? Yeah. I mean, okay. So like at the beginning of the movie,
again,
I nerded out because I just watched the movie.
You tell me how my
again.
brain works,
Yeah.
right? And like you piecing together that this one character embodies big government, greed, corporation,
Are we ready
all
for
of
this?
that. It's crazy because
No.
it kind of does actually. When you say it, it kind of does.
But I didn't come up with that. That's like,
Oh.
duh. You just have to be a good movie critic. Okay, here's the deal. So at the beginning of the movie, right? So the girl dies. Literally gets killed skinny dipping. So he changes the cause of death from shark attack to boating accident. So all the beaches can stay open. So money keeps coming into Amity Island. So super greedy, right? It's all about image. And he's like not worried about anything else. He doesn't care.
Very similar to today.
Thank you very much.
Lots of aspects.
Okay. Then you have something I looked up called normalcy bias. I think we talked about normalcy bias in like our psychology episode. Maybe we did. The whole refusal to accept that something out of the ordinary is happening, even when it's happening, because it's like too much to believe. So in this case, the shark's eating people. But another example might be like, people don't leave their house during a wildfire. Like my brother's crazy, right? He's like, oh, nothing's going to happen to my house. So he stays in his house. Sorry, kind of nuts. Or people that play down the pandemic because like, oh, well, it's never really going to happen to me. I'm not going to die, right? Ignoring the threat because you refuse to believe it's real.
People do this all the time, though, especially in positions of like leadership or authority.
They do. This is what I'm getting at, right? Big government. Okay. Finally, he also represents the failure of leadership. So like, he's not just evil to be an asshole. Like, he's got all this pressure on him and he's freaking out that the town's going to go bankrupt. Duh. Like, that's his job. If the beach is closed, the town's screwed. But in this case, he goes too far on purpose, of course. So we have a good story. I get it. But he tries to protect the town's economy more than protecting people who vote for him, right? So his role in the movie and the book is kind of genius. He's like the perfect example of like this bigger existential problem. When leaders are reactive instead of proactive, our world suffers, Amanda.
I mean, he's kind of like that big red flashing warning sign that says, don't be like me. Unless you kind of want everyone to hate you, right?
Right. That's exactly right. He's like the opposite of the green light at the end of the dock in The Great Gatsby.
Oh,
he's the big red flashing light saying, don't be a douche. Yeah, that's him.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. It's totally easy to see like when you watch the movie Jaws because like Mayor Vaughn's right in your face. But like we have Mayor Vaughn's everywhere. Right? Like at work, like in our church, in our schools, of course, in our government. Like we have to be careful. They did a good job like writing his character in for sure.
I mean, you got real deep there.
I did.
And Jaws kind of teaches us that fear is scary, but you know, the arrogance and the denial, it's kind of way scarier.
Way scarier.
Think about it.
That's the whole point.
But
I mean, I don't want to go so far
like,
as saying Jaws is
like,
the
he was the
protagonist.
villain.
Right. Yeah.
But it's fascinating when you
Really
break
is.
it down and you like look into it one level deeper.
Listen, just I want to be on record. I'm not this nerdy when it comes to movies and like figuring all this shit out. Like
I don't believe you.
No, I'm not. Like this. First of all, like this is one of these movies. Do you have like one of those movies where if it's on television, you watch it no matter what, no matter how many times you've seen it?
I have no movie like that.
Okay, so I have two. Jaws is one of them. It doesn't matter. Like if it's on television, and I'm flipping through the channels and it goes, I'm on. I watch it. My other one, Shawshank Redemption. I can't help it.
Oh,
those are two. Everything else, I'll just like, oh, I've already seen. Those two, I cannot not rewatch them over and over and over. Yeah, okay, whatever.
The epitome of good.
That's just me.
I love it. All right, well now is it time for some fun facts?
We can do fun. Yeah, we can do fun facts. We got anything else? I don't. We went through characters. We went through Steven Spielberg. Okay, marketing. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. I can do fun facts.
Okay,
let's go.
Then hit it.
All right, I said I had a lot. You ready for this?
I am. They better be good.
Huh? They are.
Because you already gave like a bunch.
Just relax. They're excellent. Okay, I loved this part of my research. Did you know the shark had a name? Like a real name, like besides Jaws?
Yes, I think anybody who's been on the Universal Studios tour knows
What is it?
Bruce.
Bruce. It is. Do you know why?
I don't.
Oh, okay,
but
there you go.
They do tell you that his name is
That's
Bruce.
fine. So Steven Spielberg named the mechanical shark after his lawyer. Yeah.
That's funny.
So I guess the shark, right, kept breaking we were talking about. So he considered it uncooperative.
I was going to think he thought it was like a waste of money, but I guess, okay.
Yeah, so here's the funny part. So I looked up if him and his lawyer, because he called his lawyer uncooperative, obviously, that's why he named him Bruce. Him and his lawyer had a relationship for like 50 more years after that. Like, maybe his lawyer died now, maybe he's still alive.
Maybe it was a joke.
Yeah, 50 years later.
Just a funny.
Yeah, okay, here we go. That's cool. Okay.
I love it.
All right, number 2, the music, right? Two notes. Two notes. Do it. Do it.
Donut.
Donut. Donut. Donut. Right. That's it. John Williams wrote the score as a joke at first, and Spielberg thought it was a prank. But those two notes, instant dread, the most iconic donut donut in film
Was this
history.
like John Williams' first? No. 'Cause he
Ooh,
was
no,
older than
no,
that.
no, no, no. I think he was before that. We look at ChatGPT that while I keep going. Yeah, yeah. Like, I just think it's hysterical that two of the best things that come from it were jokes.
Well,
Right, donut, donut, and then I think we're going to need a bigger boat. Like, that's hysterical. All right. Okay, number 3. The opening attack scene was actually... Wait, okay,
it was
I'll go back
John
to
Williams' first blockbuster hit.
No, it was not.
It was.
We got
John Williams' first blockbuster was
John and
Jaws,
Steve.
which solidified his collaboration
Oh my
with
God, kill me.
director Steven Spielberg. And the success of Jaws and his iconic score led to Williams' first Academy Award for Best Original Score.
That's it.
And established the Spielberg-Williams partnership as a powerful force in Hollywood.
For the next 50 years. Oh my God.
And that's how Williams got recommended to George Lucas by Spielberg to do Star Wars.
Star Wars. I love it. All right.
That's crazy.
All right.
It's more iconic than you even knew.
That was crazy. You just fun
It was super fun fact.
That was good. Okay. All right. Back to number 3. So the opening attack scene where the girl gets killed. Okay. That was actually real pain she was in. So Susan Backliny, I don't know how to say her last name. I probably should. So she was rigged with a harness to yank her around through the water violently. But the trick was they didn't tell her when because they wanted it to be authentic. So her screams in panic were real because when they turned the machine on, it just started going. She was like, "Holy shit!" and started freaking out.
That's
Yeah,
terrifying.
I know. I would freak out. Okay. So number 4, the movie caused real life shark panic. Okay. Remember back to the beginning when we were talking about like the beaches and what beaches got closed?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Beach attendance plummeted after the movie was released. Like people legit.
Well, no wonder.
Yeah. They refused to go in the ocean. Like they weren't even happening. Okay.
I'm surprised my children swim in a swimming pool.
Yeah. According to numerous media reports and cultural retrospectives, including interviews with lifeguards, tourism boards, and the Jaws documentary, The Shark is Still Working, that's a thing, beach attendance dropped between 20 and 30% in U.S. coastal areas in the months following the film's release. Lifeguards at the time reported a noticeable increase in beachgoers staying close to the shore or just hanging out in the sand and not swimming. 20 to 30%. Amanda, economies suffered, I would argue, because of Jaws. That's crazy.
But another economy like skyrocketed.
Number 5, Peter Benchley, the guy who wrote it,
Yeah.
regretted writing the book.
But why?
Check this. The author of the novel, Jaws, felt awful about the fear and shark killings that the movie triggered. He later became an ocean conservationist and said if he knew then what he knew now, he would have never written the book because of all the panic that it started and like the way people started shitting all over sharks.
That's crazy.
I know. Okay.
Didn't they also kill a bunch of sharks?
They did.
I feel like that was like a...
I started going down that road and looking that up, and then I didn't end up putting it as a fun fact. But yeah, people started like shark killing. It was like super weird.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What?
I'm going to add one.
What do you got?
So it's not really possible to pinpoint the exact number of sharks that were killed directly as a result of Jaws.
Yes.
However, the film's influence on shark populations is undeniable. The movie significantly contributed to a decline in shark populations, primarily due to increased fishing and hunting motivated by fear and negative perception of sharks.
I love it. All right.
That's crazy.
Here we go. Okay, and finally, it won 3 Oscars.
That's a lot of Oscars.
Yeah, not Best Picture, but like you said, it won for Best Original Score, John Williams, Best Sound, and Best Editing. But it was also the same year that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest came out, and that totally won Best Picture. And Jack Nicholson, of course, won Best Actor because he's amazing. But I would still argue that Jaws had a way bigger impact on like culture and the whole general public than One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest ever did. So that's all I got.
Well, those are very fun facts, I must say. And I feel so much more prepared to flex on Jaws tidbits now. So thank you very much. But before we finish, are you going to summarize everything so we can all make sure we're super sophisticated?
I am summarizing. Yes.
Great.
But I have calls to action. Okay.
Call to action first.
Okay. We have a little bit of homework this week, people. Obviously, if you haven't seen the movie, watch the movie, please.
In a pool, on a raft.
Good idea.
Best way to watch it.
Or on the beach. If you have seen it, please rewatch it, but this time pay attention. Don't just watch like the shark attack parts, even though those are the best parts. Watch like the camera work, the underwater POV shots, and the way Spielberg builds tension through like all his silence or all the music. Like actually, the music is the shark.
Which I didn't get.
More than half the movie, the music is a shark.
Didn't dawn on me.
Yes, right.
Until I saw it again.
Yes, this is what makes it excellent. Thank you. Okay. Also, just read the original 1974 novel, people, by Peter Benchley.
I will do that.
Okay. Lot darker. Amanda, I'm gonna leak. Comes with mob ties, an affair, and a pretty different ending.
Oh, interesting.
Plus, it gives
Add it
you
to my Libby.
yeah, serious like literary street cred people. Because if you read, you're just cool. You'll be like, I actually read Jaws. And finally, if you're a history buff like me, I highly encourage you to look into the real story of the USS Indianapolis. I don't know if you remember, that's like the monologue part Quint does, like a little over halfway through the movie. It's based on the true World War II disaster, and it's totally, totally heart-wrenching.
Wait, what is this all about?
Yeah, so Quint he's a World War II veteran, like in the
Right.
movie. But in real life, the USS Indianapolis was responsible to bring atomic bomb parts to Nagasaki or Hiroshima and dropped them off, and then subsequently turned around, and the Japanese torpedoed the boat. 300 men died instantly, I believe.
Oh.
916 go in the water. They're in the water for 4 days. Shark-infested waters.
Wow.
Guess how many survived?
Oh, I don't know.
316. They ate 600 of our soldiers.
What?
Sharks. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yes.
I've
One of the
never
worst,
heard of this.
One of the worst attacks in the history.
Wow.
Yeah. 600
Talk
people
about
died.
like PTSD.
No, it's
from
brutal. So
the
he
ocean.
tells, he's drunk and he's sitting in the cabin and they're like out there one night and he's telling the story, and it's like a super slow part of the movie. I never realized that was a total true story. It's crazy. I know.
Wow.
Okay. Then remember these details to seem sort of sophisticated. First, Jaws invented the summer blockbuster, people. Like literally, before Jaws, summer was like where studios dumped their weird little art films and throwaways. But Steven Spielberg's Shark changed the game. With a massive marketing campaign, wide release strategy, and the kind of suspense that made people think twice before going in the water. It was the first movie to cross $100 million, and it made going to the movies a summer event for sure.
The thing to do.
Absolutely. Second, the genius behind the whole thing is that you never really see the shark until the last 10 minutes. The mechanical shark
Bruce.
broke constantly, so Spielberg had to get creative. He relied on the music, the shadows, the suspense, all of it. The result was pure cinematic tension. The shark became scarier because it was mostly in your imagination.
I think we also have to give kudos to John Williams
Oh, absolutely.
for making
Yeah.
the score that like created that.
The score that broke the internet.
Yep.
Okay. Third, the film's success launched Spielberg's career. He was barely 26 years old when he directed it. He was a total nobody with a broken robot shark, and filming it almost destroyed his career. But instead, it made him a legend, people. It was literally a 50-50 coin toss, like I said. And it was a stepping stone to Close Encounters, Indiana Jones, E.T., Jurassic Park, all the other things. Like basically my entire childhood growing up. Thank you very much, Steven Spielberg. And finally, it's a horror film, yes. But Amanda, it's also a morality tale. Jaws isn't just about blood in the water. It's about civic failure, personal responsibility, and the high cost of denial. Think Mayor Larry Vaughn. The ocean is scary for sure, but it's nothing compared to what happens when people in charge ignore the truth to protect their wallets. Which, who are we kidding, is the same thing that's still going on today in 2025, if we're being honest.
Well, and on that note, there you have it, dear listeners. Jaws at 50. From malfunctioning mechanical sharks to small town politics and ugly blazers.
Total sartorial.
It's clear the movie isn't just about what's lurking beneath the surface.
Lurking!
See, I
You even
told
said lurking!
Lurkable would have been good.
What's lurkable beneath the surface? Okay, sorry.
But it's about us.
It is.
So if we've done our job today, hopefully you're walking away sort of sophisticated, armed with some shark trivia, Spielberg admiration, and maybe a healthy dose of distrust for any mayor who says the beaches are safe. Kind of reminds me of COVID. But anyways, whether it's exploring the birth of the summer blockbuster, reflecting on fear-driven decision-making, or just finally knowing why Jaws still makes people scream in the pool, the takeaway is the same. Jaws isn't just a movie. It's a cultural shift that still ripples today. And next time you're standing knee-deep in the ocean and something brushes against your leg, remember, it is probably just seaweed. Well, probably. Dun-dun. Dun-dun.
Dun, dun, dun. If today's episode gave you chills and made you laugh, can you do us a favor, please, and subscribe already? Or at least leave a review. We don't even care if it's a bad review. Because there's
I care. Don't delete bad
no, there's
reviews.
no such thing as bad publicity, remember?
Oh, no.
And if you won't subscribe or leave a review, which I totally call bullshit on, then at the very least, share it with a friend who's scared shitless of sharks. Until next time, stay curious and stay sharp out there. And remember, don't go in the water.